What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Oddchopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leads, Likes, Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you, and when you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I'm back in my YouTube woods, my neck of the woods, and all those woods and all the things. Robert Woods, he came back last week. Didn't matter. Nico Collins is going to play this week. Anyway, we're not talking NFL here. We're talking NBA. I think a lot of people are frustrated with the NBA right now. Super crazy amount of blowouts throughout today. It was disgusting. Hit the under on Jason Tatum, even though Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis both got ruled out. So riddle me that one, Batman. That was like the one bright spot in a bleak world. Got all the value in the entire world on Luka Doncic triple-double. Closed under plus 200 everywhere. Got plus 370 on FanDuel. If you're following me over at Eric Lindquist, I'm firing up my bets, showing you exactly what I'm doing there. And obviously, losing a hundo spot on that was painful because, 32 minutes from him? 32 minutes? Got the double-double for the people who are so inclined to do such things. But again, needed the rebounds in 32 minutes against the Wizards because blowouts. He showed up for like a minute and a half for no reason too, which is wild. But 32 minutes, not ideal. But anyway, we're moving on. This is a forward-looking show. I'm back at my home base. I don't know why I'm repeating words. Anyway, I'm going to repeat this to you for Bet365. We'll talk about them a little bit later here at the halfway point. Don't go anywhere. I took advantage of everything there. Hey, that's where I ended up winning, over in the New Jersey. That wasn't a very good New Jersey accent. I apologize to everybody inclined. But definitely going to be wanting to fire up more there in one of those 6 states. It's just $150 in bet credit, so I would take advantage of it. I did. I'm very happy that I did. Anyway, I'm done talking. Producer Jacob. Hi, I'm still seeing you, but like in the home base, and I need to do good. So let's get to the picks. We got the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Miami Heat. Again, just 2 games here on this slate. Probably could have said that at the ongoing of the program, but I needed to ramble and say words repeating. And I'll repeat myself a lot throughout this program when it comes to wanting to repeat bets from the other day, because Brooklyn, I just think that some of these numbers are a little bit overvalued based on what we're looking at from a pace perspective. Again, pace and your efficiency are it's just so easy for you to look in the early portion of this season and know that Brooklyn not going to be one of those teams that's playing at breakneck speed, the likes of a Washington. I can't even talk about them right now. The Pacers, let's talk about them because I really enjoy them. The Atlanta Hawks, Charlotte, OKC. We know these teams are going to play way up in pace. We know Brooklyn is trying to grind it down, slow it down, and do all of those things. Now, they've played a lot of very difficult defensive teams so far this season, second in adjusted defensive strength of schedule so far. Again, it's a very small sample size here, but down there at 19th in terms of pace, 99.9 possessions per not 100 minutes, that would be absurd. 48 minutes. There you go, Eric. We're getting it back in a rhythm. Can you tell it's been a long travel day? You spend 4 or 5 hours in the Newark airport and tell me how you're doing. Actually, Newark Airport wasn't all that bad. And they have beer, so most airports have beer. But we are looking ourselves at this matchup here in Miami. Miami's getting an infantry back here. Let me just break it down. Josh Richardson, he ended up coming back like a game or 2 ago. But anyway, Caleb Martin. This is kind of the big one here. Caleb Martin, Kevin Love, Drew Smith. He's not going to play. But Tyler Hero continuing to be out. They're healthy outside of Tyler Hero, but here's the thing. You take Tyler Hero off the floor, and I think defensively, anybody else that you're replacing with him is going to be an upgrade. So that's more towards what I'm getting at here yet again. It's a slow-paced game where we know Brooklyn, they're sitting at 19th. You should know by now that Miami is always going to be near the bottom half of the league as well. 17th in terms of pace so far this season after 10 games. So we're talking about 2 teams near the middle, back half of the middle of the pack. That's a weird way of phrasing that. They're 17th and 19th respectively in pace so far, and both bring decent defensive units. And this one actually improves on the Miami side with no Tyler Hero and getting a player like Caleb Martin back into the fray. 22 minutes here for him is what I've got him projected at. Want to kind of see what some of these props land on with him, mainly because a lot of people like to assume guys aren't necessarily healthy right from the get-go. I know the community likes to bet overs, but we did see him play last game, 20 minutes against Detroit. Didn't shoot the ball well. I think that's kind of why they ended up closing with like a Josh Richardson there. I think Caleb Martin, as he gets acclimated, will play more and more. You're not going to see 33 minutes from Josh Richardson on the daily. I would be very surprised if we did. But this is actually more centrally focused here on the props from the Brooklyn side. These are some ridiculous props. Again, Tyler Hero off the floor, better defenders on. A middle to back of the middle. Again, why am I phrasing it that way? Pace up matchup or pace down matchup for this Brooklyn team. And then Spencer Dinwiddie starts to acclimate himself offensively. I've been waiting for this, and I fired pretty darn hard. You guys probably saw this over on X if you follow me over there, where I had the single game parlay of Cameron Johnson, 4.5 rebounds, taking the under of that, and Mikal Bridges. I took the under of his entire 33.5 portfolio. The 33.5 was an easy W. And of course, what does Cameron Johnson do in the last minute of the game when they're up 16? He gets 2 rebounds to ruin that single game parlay, and I am in shambles. But anyway, Brooklyn 9-1-1 against the spread, 4-7 here for Miami. I'm not going to be looking at the spread whatsoever. I would actually be leaning towards the Miami side for this one. But instead, I'm just going to call Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson a little bit inflated, considering, 1, they're playing a lot more minutes alongside each other here again because Cameron Johnson was out, now he's in. 2, if Spencer Dinwiddie starts playing with a pulse, which he did not do for the first couple weeks of the season, you're going to see these numbers, these assist rates, these rebound rates, everything down the line come down, and obviously the usage, because somebody like Spencer Dinwiddie gets cooking here, and you can get cooking against the likes of a Kyle Lowry there on the defensive end. I think you are definitely finding value here with the Mikal Bridges under 31.5 PRA. That's the current number, minus 115 at FanDuel. I'm going to call the Cameron Johnson under 23.5 PRA, not looking at the rebounds, God forbid, not looking at the points, looking at the entire portfolio for both of them. 23.5 PRA, leaning towards that one, but the only one I think worthy of a fire here right now for a half unit, Mikal Bridges. Obviously, pay attention to news. There's only 2 games. Going to be very easy to keep you apprised of everything as we get closer to it. Super easy to take advantage of an amazing deal at an amazing sports book. Hey, I can vouch for them. I have the tickets to prove it. Fantastic stuff being able to play Bet365 when I made my way over to New Jersey to go hang out with OddsShopper's own Greg Ehrenberg for an afternoon. When I was able to go back over there flying in and out of Newark, leaving New York City. Again, really strongly recommend that. I hate LaGuardia. Maybe I'm the only person, but you bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets at one of these 6 states. It's only available in New Jersey, the aforementioned New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, Kentucky, Iowa, and Colorado. Simply bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets. And hey, even if my picks suck today, and my picks have kind of sucked for the last couple days, I guarantee you $150 in bonus bets when you bet simply $5 on something. That's a pretty good return on your money. So if you're interested in such things in one of those 6 states, being New Jersey, Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia, Iowa, and Colorado, do it. It's only if you're 21 and over, 18 and over in Kentucky. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks. We go with one more game. Oh, Daddy likey a lot. In a world treaded by water, Draymond Green decided to punch a dude straight in the dick hole. For suspended 5 games, a new movie brought to you by... I don't know why Tim Burton was the director I decided for, but it's a weird one. Guys, I need sleep. Let's get out of here with a lock, shall we? Oklahoma City, minus 2.5 opening number, going up against Golden State. And I gotta say, there's not a whole lot that I know in the world. I know sports. I like to think I know sports to a certain extent. I know data. I'm pretty good with data. I know how to play piano or a little guitar if you're so inclined. But I know that this is a broken line. I have no idea how they opened this as the number. I understand home court is generally worth about 3 points in the National Basketball Association, or the National Blowout Association, as we're going to call it after frickin' Wednesday. But this is nonsensical. You have an Oklahoma City team that is fully healthy. Giddey, Shea, Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Casson Wallace, who's been playing great basketball, Isaiah Joe. Hey, Joe, where you going with that gun in my hand? Who doesn't like Hendrix? I just can't sing right now. But Golden State, the big news, obviously, Draymond Green decided to chokehold and take to the ground Rudy Gobert like it was an MMA event, which, might make this weekend's card. Has anybody looked at this weekend's card? Craig and Allen? Yeah. I'm going to be betting that. Not going to be firing those bets all the time up into the premium Discord because, again, you want to stay in your lanes. I just like to bet MMA because I'm a sick person and I love it. But here we are. You're looking at a Golden State side that has no Draymond Green here for 5 games. Steph Curry continues to be out. So why, in God's green earth, Am I able to bet the money line here at minus 135? Again, it's about win probabilities when you start talking about these numbers. Everybody's looking like, oh, 52, 53%. Yeah, that's like your break-even numbers on minus 110 bets. But this I have with a 61% win percentage over here at Oklahoma City, and I don't get how this shows up as the number. Again, this is an implied win percentage from the 55, 56 range, and I am just floored that we're going to get this kind of a value piece on this side of it. But let's break it down a little bit further here, because Steph Curry, why is he so important? Other than being the obviously, like, the guy who's changed basketball, maybe not for the better, but I have been changed for good. Bet you didn't see Wicked coming down the pipeline. I was just in Manhattan, wanted to go, but didn't, because I'm a man. But Wicked is a beautiful musical and will bring even the strongest of mans to tears. But we are looking at one of the most generational talents that has ever played the game of basketball, creates, does all of those things. So does Draymond Green. You're talking about your two main creators on offense coming off the floor. Now, what happened in the absence of Draymond Green last game? Because obviously he didn't get to play after the 60-second mark. Obviously you didn't have Klay Thompson out there. He will be out there this time. Podziemski. There we go. Brandon Podziemski. Had to double check, looked up on YouTube with producer Jacob the pronunciation to make sure I had it correct, because I didn't get to watch that game. But he played 39 minutes and played legitimately well. 23, 7, and 5 for the Santa Clara product. Like what we saw from him, going back and watching about 10, 15 minutes of that game, mainly because I had it as a lock, and it was just nice to cash that. +4 Minnesota. What was that opening number? Closes at -3, obviously, because Steph Curry ends up getting ruled out, but that was always kind of in the cards. He will be back in a couple games. Sounds like he's getting eerily close. Maybe he gets back next week, but we shall see. Doesn't matter for today. He will not be playing basketball unless it's like the De'Aaron Fox thing where he gets ruled in from the rafters. But even that gave us a little bit of a heads up to be able to work on it. We're looking at an adjusted offensive rating here so far for Golden State that it's at 12th, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a gigantic deal taking Steph off the floor. Gigantic deal taking Draymond Green off the floor, because when you do that, they become a bottom 5 team in offensive efficiency so far this season. Now, that doesn't mean a whole lot because it's such a small sample size where we don't have either of them on the floor, but I think we can safely assume there are going to be some growing pains when you have to assert guys like Kevon Looney into more minutes just from a defensive presence, because that's not going to be Jonathan Kuminga. Andrew Wiggins has played about as bad as basketball as you possibly see. And obviously, Dario Saric talked about him needing more minutes. Didn't see it coming by way of Draymond Green getting ejected, but 32 minutes, 21, 4, and 4. You saw what he can do, Super Dario himself. But this is all about Oklahoma City. This is a fully operational Death Star here on their end of the floor. And yes, are we extremely frustrated of the blowout there? We didn't get to have the Wembanyama Chet Holmgren face-off they were looking forward to? No. They go and win by 38 it was or something? 36? I think it was actually more than that. I think it was it was 36. I could go back and look. But either way, I tell you what, this Oklahoma City team is one that we're just going to keep betting and probably going to be betting here some more. 8-3 against the spread. It's kind of been one of the better bright spots in a grim, dark world here the last couple. But don't even give me the points. Just take the money line. Golden State might try to up the variance, shoot a ton of threes like they always do, try to get open looks here for Klay. But Klay is kind of inefficient when you don't have guys out creating for him. Chris Paul, he is going to have to be a massive catalyst here for this team, and he's going to have to play a lot more minutes. We saw 36 after playing 22, 26, 27, 21. It really got ramped up in a hurry. He is going to have to create a lot for Klay Thompson. And again, I expect them to try to up the variance in a spot like this against OKC, because they're just the much better team in just about every single metric. What are we doing here? Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're going to the team that currently is leading every single metric when it comes to blocks at the rim because of Chet Holmgren, when it comes to defensive presence here with a Jalen Williams here on the wings. I like the entire construction of this basketball team, top to bottom, as do most people. They're going to only keep getting better and better and better as Chet Holmgren gets acclimated to the professional game. It's just dumb. We're talking in circles. I told you I would. Oklahoma City money line. Lock it up, friends. Take it to the bank. I'm pretty confident for a 2-game slate. Bet you didn't see a lot coming. No, you didn't. We'll see if that's a good thing in the end. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays here for Thursdays too, gamer. I'm going to have some NFL stuff going up over on OddsJumper as well. We're working on some cool stuff for the premium Discord. Get ready for that. Get your popcorn ready. OS is coming to the forefront. Going to be really, really fun how I can present the picks to you in a better, more efficient, more timely manner, in fact. So that's going to be an enjoyable deal for everybody involved. I hope so. And then producer Jacob, thank you so much per usual. Good to be back hanging out. Just hello. Missed you. I saw you yesterday, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, friends, I'm back in the setup. We are going to hit the ground running here. I'm not going anywhere until what? Christmas? Going back to South Dakota for Christmas. That'll be warm. I don't want to think about it. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Thursday.